Alright, good morning. I think we are live now, or at least we should be. Let me make sure that we are actually streaming and that we have video and audio and everything. And then we will be on our way with a Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble Quickstep number 1 round 1 matchup. Today we have Bhanu on the left and Wenny on the right. It's going to be a good one. I'm acats294, and let's go ahead and get it started. So, if you are new to these streams, the way we do it here is we're going to roll 5 stages out of Banana Rumble. This includes the base 10, the 10 EX worlds, as well as, in this tournament, the 2 Ultimate EX worlds. So a total of 220 stages. We're going to roll 5 of them at a time. For this first round, our higher seed Bhanu is going to ban 1. Wenny will ban 2 of those remaining stages. And then Bhanu will pick out of those 2 that are left. It'll change up a little bit in rounds 2 and going forward, but for now, we will, sorry about that. For now, we'll just stick with that ban format. So we already have our first list that is in the voiceless channel. We're going to go with the list of stepping stones, punishing seesaws, symbols updated, casual step, and rolling balls. Let me go ahead and paste that in the chat here. And then we will get going. So, like I said, for this first round, Bhanu is going to ban 1, then Wenny will ban 2, and then Bhanu will pick from the remaining, from those remaining 2 stages. Some other rules just to cover here while we are getting set up. Each round is going to be 5 minutes. I've got a timer on screen, and we will start the round. Once we do that, I'll give players a warning around 1 minute or so. Any attempt that starts before the timer hits 5 minutes is valid, so if you start a run before 5 minutes, you're free to finish it. But anything started after that 5-minute timer hits 5 minutes will not count. So we're going to go ahead and get a ban from Bhanu here. And like I said, this is a first round matchup. So our first round here is between Bhanu and Wenny. We've also got a first round matchup that was between me and Paz that happened a couple days ago. And that one was a 3-2 finish, so quite close. Hopefully we'll get another good matchup here today. Okay. So we are getting word. First ban is going to be 4-6 rolling balls out of Bhanu. So that means that Wenny will now ban 2 of the remaining 4 stages here. Out of stepping stones, punishing seesaws, symbols updated, and casual step. Another thing to mention here is DLC characters would normally be allowed, but if either player requests no DLC, we will do no DLC because we don't want this tournament to be pay to win. And for this match, we are going to be going no DLC. So everybody from II through Bad Boon is a legal character to be used on these stages. Primarily, we're going to be seeing a lot of Baby. We're going to be seeing potentially some Val, maybe even some Easel, depending on the stages, or some other niche characters, but in general, Baby is considered to be the best character in this game, and probably who we're going to be seeing the most of. So, we are waiting on those bans from Wenny. He is typing, and we are going to ban 8-1 Stepping Stones and 6 UEX7 Symbols updated. Interesting ban there on Symbols updated. That was one of our qualifying stages. So we do have data on how everybody who is participating in the tournament did on those 5 stages that we used for qualifying, and Wenny deciding, either based on that or based on this morning how he's feeling, that this is not that's not the stage he wants to go to. So that leaves Bhanu with a couple of options here. Either 8-1 Stepping Stones or 8EX6 Punishing Seesaws. Stepping Stones, kind of a straightforward stage. In terms of the super speed IL, I'm not sure how it goes, but we'll see what Bhanu is deciding on here, and then we will get into this first round of gameplay. If anybody is in chat and could tell me how the audio is doing, if I need to adjust the volume at all, I would really appreciate that. So, in the meantime, though, we are waiting on this last ban out of Bhanu. He is still thinking. Going forward, we're going to have 3-minute timers on these rounds. So once I roll the list and put it in chat, that'll start the 3-minute timer for somebody to ban one stage, and then there'll be another 3-minute timer for somebody to ban or to pick from the remaining stages. This first round is a little bit more difficult just because there's multiple rounds. So we'll see what he's thinking. And the pick is in, so we are going to 8EX6 Punishing Seesaws. Alright, well, we will go to Punishing Seesaws here. I'd ask both players to go ahead and mute and deafen in Discord, and then we will go ahead and get started. Okay. Alright, well, we've got both players muted. Make sure that you hit the little headphones and deafen as well, and then we will get started. Both players are getting into the stage here. And we'll have them go ahead and type ready up in the chat. And then go ahead and see.
Good luck, have fun.
Alright. Let's see if that should be working. It should be getting the audio from that, but I will address it after this round and see if we can't get the game audio to work. My desktop audio should be on. Let me see if I do this. Does that make any difference? No, I don't think so. But, alright. Well, we'll just roll with this. We've got a ready up from Wenny, still waiting on a ready up from Bhanu here. And then we'll get into this first round. Oh, well, the game audio came in for a second. Okay, well, we'll see if it's, see if this is working at all. Alright, we have the ready up, so we will start on go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we've got that timer started. Again, we're going to do 5-minute rounds here. We'll see. We'll see how they do. We don't have any finishes yet, but this is a tough stage, you know, not just because the goal angle is kind of difficult, which it is, considering you're going to be coming at kind of an oblique angle, kind of parallel to the way that the goal is facing, so that makes it difficult just to get into the goal. But of course, your platforms are also invisible, so that doesn't help either. You know, it's possible if neither of these players can get a finish with the really difficult strat, and we see some adjusting of the settings there, but it's possible if neither player can get a finish with the more difficult strat, we may end up seeing somebody just try to complete the stage normally. And you know, that's perfectly valid. It's just whoever gets a better time after the 5 minutes is the winner. So it might be worth it in some cases, even like this, where it's really difficult to get a finish. It might be worth it to just go for a normal finish, like Bhanu is doing here, just to put pressure on your opponent. Oh, and he can't complete it. But sometimes it might be worth it just to... Uh-oh. Is this not actually... Okay. Well, I don't know what happened there. But, in some cases it might be worth it to just go for a normal finish or go for a partial skip and see, you know, if you can get partway through the stage with some time save. Maybe that's, you know, maybe that's good enough to just put some pressure on your opponent and make sure that they have to get a finish in order to win the stage. But that would kind of eliminate the possibility of a tie on the stage. And in the case of a tie, the counter flip would pick. So in this case, Bhanu was the first one to ban, and then got to pick the stage. If we were to have a tie here, we would just flip the order of bans and picks. So it would be Wenny to ban first, then Bhanu to ban 2, and then Wenny to pick. In the other stages, it would just flip. So instead of Bhanu banning 1 and Wenny picking out of the 4, it would flip after a tie. So we are almost 3 minutes in here. No finishes out of either player. And we'll see. Oh, there we go. There's our first finish. So it's a 51.028 out of Bhanu. And as we're working on the next bands, I'll work on getting that put onto screen. But we do have a 51.028 out of Bhanu. It looks like Wenny is changing strategies here, potentially going for like a half skip. Yeah, and even there the goal angle is pretty tough, but it's a lot better than trying to come straight on. So we'll see what he's able to come up with here. Does not have a finish yet, so taking his time to line up, and I think what it looks like here is yeah, there we go. Oh, and he just hits the top of the goal. I was gonna say it looks like he's not he's spin dashing too much to the right. You kind of want to use the slope of this ramp to push you to the right, as opposed to spin dashing towards the right. So we'll see if he can dial that in. But we've got about 45 seconds left here. Still looking for a first finish out of Wenny. This could go. Yeah, and he does get in. Okay. And that's a 52.711. So that's about a second and a half faster than what Bhanu got. With about 30 seconds left. Bhanu's still going for the full skip, it looks like. The stream is a little bit difficult to tell. But it looks like for now he's still going for this full finish. Oh, there we go. There's another finish out of Wenny. Was it faster? Much faster, yes. 55.062. And I'll go ahead and send in the last attempt. Bhanu did just get that one off, and he's not going to complete it. Okay. Alright. Well, that's good. Good work there out of our first round. Both competitors getting a finish. Wenny getting a stronger finish and going to take that first round. Getting a 55. That's a very solid time. So we'll go ahead and put a point up on the board for Wenny there. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll this next stage list. So it looks like our stage list here is going to be one of Rising Road, All Sides, Jump and Build, Push Bar Tower, and Press Machine. Some tricky stages in there for sure. Oh, goodness. Okay. Alright, so definitely some tricky stages in there. We'll see what we want to go with. So, like I said, the format for this will change a little bit. Where the winner of the last round, Wenny, will ban one, and then Bhanu will pick from the remaining 4 stages. And just in case this stream is not working well, which it does not necessarily appear like it is, or it doesn't necessarily appear like it's... Is it possible to stretch Wenny's feet vertically? Yes, I can do that. Give me just a second. We'll see if I do that. Alright, well, a little bit of fun OBS shenanigans there, but hopefully that should be a little better. And then we will see. So, we have a ban already, which is 9EX9 Push Bar Tower. And we will wait for Bhanu to pick out of the remaining stages. Gonna go ahead and what is happening here? Okay. Alright. Well, we're just gonna go with that. Let's see, so we're still waiting on a pick from Bhanu. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on getting their best times up on stage. I think we will just save that for another time, actually. But let me just adjust this a little bit so we don't lose the timer. There we go. Okay. So, we are still waiting on a pick out of Bhanu. 4 choices left are Rising Road, All Sides, Jump and Build, and Press Machine. Press Machine was another one of our qualifier stages. To be fair, that record has since been broken. That was on that stage, but we will go ahead and wait for the stage pick here. The pick is 4EX9 All Sides. Okay. I gotta say, that is not where I was necessarily expecting for us to go, but we're gonna hit 4EX. And we see Wenny is there, highlighting the stage. Once both players are in, we'll go ahead and get the ready up, and then we will get into round 2.
Ready? Go!
Both players, it looks like, just taking a second, look at the record, see what the strategy is here. Again, this is another stage where Baby is probably going to be the best pick. We haven't talked a ton about character stats yet, but when we have a different character, we can cover that for sure. In terms of this stage, though, you just want to go as far as you can, as fast as you can. The goal is pretty much right at the end. So Baby is going to be the best pick here by a pretty big margin. We're waiting on both players to ready up, and then we'll get into it. We've got it ready from Wenny, and we will wait for Bhanu and then get into this round 2. So right now, Wenny does have the advantage. Winning that first stage gets you the counter pick advantage, which could be big potentially. If you go to game 5, and each player wins on their pick, then the person who wins round 1 is going to have that final pick in round 5. And so that can be a big advantage that in that tied up one game to decide the match, you get your pick of stage as opposed to your opponent's pick. So that can make a huge difference, and we'll see if that ends up becoming relevant. But for now, just waiting on the ready up for round 2. Alright, and we are still waiting. Oh, Bhanu is typing, and we're waiting. We're adjusting camera settings. Do what we gotta do. Mentioned that Baby is going to be the best character on this stage, just because he has the highest speed, and we got the ready up, so I will continue that thought in a minute. So we'll go on go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So for this stage, strategy is pretty simple. Go forward, clip either off of that last moving part or off of the platform, and then get to the goal. It does become a little bit difficult because right at the end, those bamboo structures in the middle are a little bit elevated, so it does prevent you from just holding straight in potentially. But as we see, a good attempt there from Wenny and a good attempt from Bhanu as well, both of them getting really close. It looks like Wenny is choosing to slow down, not going to full speed it into the goal, and I think he might have been able to get in if he just full speeds there. But if you get enough height, you know, it's possible to get straight to the goal. Of course, the more height you get, the slower it is. And there we go. There's our first finish out of Wenny. Looks like it's going to be a 56.209, if I'm doing my math correctly. And we get a 56.605 out of Bhanu. So both of them getting an attempt about a minute in, getting a finish, and that's big. That'll help with take a little bit of the pressure off. You know, you gotta finish, you can finish, you know how to finish the stage. So that should help. That was a good looking clip from Wenny. Just didn't end up getting a bounce. So yeah, that would be your fastest strat, right? The lower you can go, the less of your speed gets converted into vertical movement, and so that helps with your speed. We do get a slight improvement, 8 thousandths of a second out of Wenny. Still not going to be enough to overtake Bhanu. So again, Bhanu's got a 56.605. That is our leading time. 2 minutes in here. That 56.605 is still leading, and we get another improvement, getting up to 56.375 out of Wenny. He's still about 0.2 of a second behind. Oh, this looks good, and he just couldn't get in the goal. There's another good one, but that one's just too low, and it's going to clip off of, or it's going to hit the front of one of those blocks. Doesn't finish that attempt. It looked like it would have been too high to get a really fast time. Yeah. So when he is getting these 0.2s very comfortably, getting 0.2s very comfortably, he's aiming for 56.605. That's currently the leading time. And the competitors do have these times in voice chat, so they know what the best times are. And uh-oh. Chongo is typing, so hopefully that doesn't mean that stream is dying or something. But oh, that looked really fast, just getting too much height from that bounce off the block. I have not watched the record video for this stage, but that's kind of the tough part at the end, is you've got blocks and bamboo that are elevated, so you can't go super low, but also if you bounce off the blocks, you're likely to go over the goal. So, but both players navigating things pretty well so far. Bhanu's still in the lead with a 56.605. We do see a slight improvement there, it looks like, and he's saving the replay. We get another small improvement from Wenny up to 56.410. And I can't see what that time is out of Bhanu. Looks like a 56.644. And he saved the replay, saved the switch capture, so it must have been good. I'm not sure what the record is here, but that is pretty good. Still up about 0.2 of a second on Wenny. And it is just one fastest run wins. So, oh, we have a correction. It's a 56.634. Still very good. Still 0.2 of a second up. And it looks like Bhanu is taking a second, either just taking a second to gather himself for these last few attempts. And last attempt, And neither player got it off, so that is going to be the end of the round. And Bhanu will take this one. Let's see if I do that. Maybe that'll help, but okay. So Bhanu will take this one, and we will be tied up 1-1 here. So, competitive match to start off. Both players getting a game on the board. That's what you like to see. We'll go ahead and generate our next stage list. And our next stage is going to come from the following list. 3-8 Paddle Path, 10-8 Wipeout, 8-6 Dividing Road, 3-9 Egg Pack, and 10-EX1 Fragmented Circle. So I'm going to go ahead and start our 3-minute timer for the ban. And again, in this round, Wenny will ban one, or Bhanu will ban one because he won the last round. And then Wenny will pick from the remaining 4. Fragmented Circle, and I should know this for sure, because 1, I played in the match, but 2, it was not that long ago. But I believe Fragmented Circle was played in the other round 1 match between Paz and myself. That match ended up going 3-2 in my favor, but I believe he won Fragmented Circle. Well, this shows you how much I remember about my own matches. Not a whole lot. But in any case, it's back on the list, so that could be an interesting one. Egg Pack is not a super interesting stage. Same thing with Paddle Path. You know, kind of just spin dash and get lucky stages. So, Dividing Road and Wipeout. Wipeout would be an interesting pick. I can't say that I've played the original Wipeout in quite a while, but Wipeout does have an Ultimate EX version, not what we're seeing here. That is very tricky to get a finish on. So, about 1 minute and 10 seconds left for Bhanu's ban, and he is going to go with, he's typing, he is going to ban Fragmented Circle. So didn't like the look of that clip, and Wenny will get a pick out of the remaining 4 stages. So again, the 4 stages that are left are 3-8 Paddle Path, 3-9 Egg Pack, 8-6 Dividing Road, and 10-8 Wipeout. I believe on all of these stages that Baby is going to be the pick. Especially with no DLC, Baby is just the best character in the game for almost all strats. He has the highest friction in the game, so that means he can turn the quickest and accelerates the quickest, or second quickest, I suppose, if you count crewmate. But they're pretty comparable. But no DLC means that Baby is probably going to be the pick on crewmate stages too. So, and we do see a pick. It is going to be 10-8 Wipeout. Okay. So we're going to go to Wipeout, the original version, not the UEX version. That one would be kind of a diabolical pick if anybody were choosing that. We still haven't seen a UEX stage in play. I made it a point to ban them when I was in my match, and I certainly didn't pick them whenever Paz left them for me. So, but we're going to original Wipeout. And see when he is highlighting over the stage there. We'll start another timer and see. Give him a few minutes for this ready up. So, yeah, But Baby is simply the best character in the game for the fact that he accelerates so quickly, can change directions so quickly. Um, he's light enough that he can bounce a decent amount. Some of the characters have higher bounce stats or restitution stats, as they're called, that make certain things possible, and they aren't possible for Baby because he doesn't bounce that much. Um, but when you're talking about a stage where speed is key and you don't need to pull off some spin dash strat that Baby isn't capable of doing, Baby is generally going to be your best pick. So, again, certain niche exceptions. Um, if you need a stronger spin dash, Val is your option. He has the fastest 1 second spin dash in the game. Easel technically has a stronger spin dash, however, it takes 2 seconds to recharge, or to charge that fully. Um, and if your strategy is completed in 2.5 seconds using Val, that really doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room to get that extra little bit of strength on the spin dash with Easel. So Val, if you need a really strong spin dash, could be the pick. Um, Baby for going fast, and those are probably the only two characters that we're going to see today. So we do have a ready up from Wenny, and it looks like Bhanu is loading into the stage. Now, I don't know if Bhanu was expecting the wipeout pick, given how tough of a stage it is. Um, that's part of the thought process when you're banning is, okay, what stage do I not want to play? But also, what stage do I think my opponent wants to play? Or what stage do they have the best chance at beating me at? Um, and so it could be that he banned Wipeout because, or he didn't ban Wipeout because he felt good and felt like he could play Wipeout pretty well, or it could be that he didn't expect Wenny to go to Wipeout, so he left it on the table, and now we're here. So we've got a ready up from both players, and we'll go ahead and get them counted down. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Both players are off here. We'll see what the strats are that they go for. Yeah, so this is I would imagine the fastest strat is to just drop off this first platform, turn around, spin dash to the goal, and kind of sneak in that far post. This is another one, just like the first stage we saw Punishing Seesaws, where the goal angle is going to make a finish really difficult. Just because you're coming at the goal basically parallel to the post, and you have to really, really sneak inside there. You get a little bit of an angle, and if players were to go closer to that middle cylinder, you can get a better angle on it that way too. But we'll see if anybody is able to get a finish with this. It looks like Bhanu is taking a second either to screen peek, check out the record strat. There's a finish from Wenny. That's going to be a good start. And we see a 56. Well, I'll wait for him to post his time in the chat, but 56.587. That is a very strong time there. Very strong first finish. Oh, that was another one that looked like it could have been great, but it's just that goal angle is so tough. Bhanu's stream is a little bit having a little bit of trouble, it looks like. Wow, that was another just great attempt out of Wenny. Improves to a 56.666. Wow, he is dialed in on this stage. So now we see why he picked it. This was not even I think that I can get one or two good finishes pick. He didn't pick it just because he thought he could get one and that would be good enough. But he is looking really strong, really confident on this stage 2 minutes in. Another good one goes off that outside far post. And it's really difficult to see with the stream what's going on with Bhanu. But he has not posted anything in voiceless, so I'm going to assume he hasn't gotten a finish yet. it's going to take a really strong finish to beat a 56.666. But he's shown that he's capable of getting good finishes on other stages, so we'll see. It is worth noting that Bhanu is the higher seed, so in qualifying, he did overall have a stronger performance than Weni. Bhanu being the 7 seed and Weni being the 10 seed. So, for what that's worth, he did do better overall in qualifying than Weni, but on this one specific stage, he's looking a little bit lost, taking a second to screen peek, or not quite sure what he's doing here. Okay, and it looks like he's back into it. So, okay. 90 seconds left here. We've still only seen Weni get a finish, but that finish is a strong finish of 56.666. So even if Bhanu does get a finish here, it might not be good enough to overtake that. Oh, and that's another really good attempt that just comes off that far post and back out of the goal. 1 minute left for Bhanu to get a finish, and again, he's just taking some time to look at the strat, so, you know, it makes you wonder, was this one of those stages that either he doesn't really know the strat, and he just left it on there thinking that when he wouldn't pick it, or is it something that he felt like he would do better at this strat just watching the video, but he is looking kinda lost out there. Still hasn't gotten a finish, only 30 seconds left. Oh, that's another good finish. Is it going to be faster? It is not. So that .666 is still going to hold for Weni as our top time. Almost gets another finish there. Can't quite sneak it in the goal. And last attempt. Oh, and he just rattles off the goalposts, and Bhanu is not going to make it in. So that is going to be round 3 in the books. Weni is going to take it and take a 2-1 lead. So these matches are best of 5, meaning that this is set point or match point for Weni. But Bhanu does get the counter pick back, so we'll see what difference that makes, especially in super speed where people probably haven't played it as much, probably aren't as familiar with the strats outside of the top players. You know, that familiarity and having your pick out of 4 stages can make a huge difference. So let me generate this next list here, and we have our 5 stages. So it's going to be 1-5 spin and jump, 6-4 long half pipe, 9-7 spiral zone, 5 EX5 push bar street, and 6 UEX2 wheel road. So this is potentially the first time we could see an Ultimate EX stage in tournament. Let me go ahead and start this timer for the ban from Weni. And we will see what they decide. Out of these stages, spin and jump, it is a World 1 stage. And in super speed, I haven't seen the record, but I would imagine that the strategy is just to dash off of the first ramp straight to the goal platform. The regular speed record, you do need to clip off of the fence or off of the second ramp or the edge of the second to last platform in order to get up to the goal. But I would imagine in super speed you don't. Again, I have not seen the record recently, but I would imagine you can go straight forward on that one. Push bar street, going to be one of those stages where you dash into an edge, clip, try to get some height to jump over all of the moving bars. Spiral zone, long half pipe. Long half pipe, more of a falling stage, where you're just going to be spin dashing off the edge and falling straight to the goal. And then wheel road. So personally, I would love to see wheel road 6UEX2 wheel road updated. Would love to see that stage get played in tournament. It is a pretty tricky stage, and the goal is not, it's not like the goal is at a bad angle or anything, but you're going to be dashing into a rounded surface and hoping to get a bounce straight to the goal if they pick that one. So we'll see what the ban is here. If he's not feeling super confident in that strat, I could definitely see that being the ban. The other bans I could see Spiral Zone, more likely to be a long stage. So, and the ban is 5EX5 push bar street. So does leave long half pipe, which is a falling stage, Spiral Zone, which is a little bit longer generally, especially if you can't get an IL finish and you have to play casually. That can take 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But long half pipe, Spiral Zone, wheel road updated, and spin and jump are the choices left. So we'll go ahead and get a 3-minute timer for Bhanu to pick the stage, and we'll see where he wants to go. I think if you're not feeling good about any of these stages, spin and jump is a very safe option. That is going to be a very frame grindy stage, or in this game, thousandths of a second. It would be the safe pick, but on the other hand, you could very easily get beat by a thousandth, a few thousandths, hundredth of a second. And it's just kind of up to really optimizing when you start your charge, when you dash. It would be a kind of a gamble to pick that stage, is how I would put it. So we'll see if he wants to go there, if he's not feeling confident about any of the other stages. I think long half pipe could also be an option. Not a terribly difficult stage. And so could be an option if you don't want to go quite as luck-based. Not that it's entirely luck, but if you don't want to go with that gamble of picking spin and jump. So we'll see. He is not typing, got a minute and a half left on his pick timer. Again, his choices are spin and jump, long half pipe, spiral zone, and wheel road updated. Alright, let's see. We are still waiting on that pick. Go ahead and give him a 45-second warning. And he is typing. Alright. Well. So we'll go ahead and get that pick in here. He is typing again, and it looks like we're going long half pipe. So we are going to a falling stage. feel like we haven't seen a lot of World 6. There are some good stages there, but also some duds. Um, Aerial floor, just not a great IL stage. Um, Deadline, props to you for finishing that with that massive skip. Um, but in general, it's just kind of ride this moving platform until you get close enough that you can spin dash off the edge. Um, Here we go. So we see both players booting into long half pipe. You can see on Bhanu's screen, you could see how the path kind of winds down. We're not going to be following any of that. We are going to be dashing off the edge and landing straight in the goal. They may need to take a bounce. If you do, that is going to slow you down because it's going to push you back up into the air. But it could make the goal entry a little bit easier, a little bit slower potentially. So we'll see what the players decide to go with here. We do get a ready up from Wenny, so we are just waiting on a ready up from Bhanu, and then we will get into it. Game 4 in this first round matchup between Bhanu and Wenyunity. And it looks like both players are going to be going with Baby again on this stage. Makes sense. Um, I believe that all characters fall at the same speed. Um, I'm not aware of a reason that they wouldn't, but Baby is always a safe pick if you don't know which way you want to go. Um, Always a safe pick to go with the best character in the game. So, let's see. Ready from Wenny, ready from Bhanu, and we will get into it. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so it looks like both players are going for this falling strat. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. So it is not a baby stage. They are both going with the sheep. It is a T time. He does charge his spin dash faster. So this is one of those cases where you're going to be dashing off the edge of the platform so quickly that you need that decrease in spin dash charge time in order to get the full spin dash. Baby and T do have the same spin dash power at 0.3, but T or Fess T and Fess and T both have a quicker charge time, so it only takes them 3/4 of a second to charge up, as opposed to Baby's 1 full second. So that's the logic here. And okay, so it looks like Winnie at least is going for a spin dash. Gonna try and land in one of those lower half pipes, get a bounce, most likely trying to get a bounce into the other half pipe to keep his height down, and then go into the goal. There's a good looking attempt, and just, yeah, that's the trick. That's the tricky part, is if you land on that, you're going to bounce back into the air. So you either need to hit that roof that's right above it, or hit the other half pipe that's to the left of this one. You can see him coming down. If he could hit the top of that half pipe and stay down, that would work too. Oh, this looks good. And he gets an angled bounce, doesn't land on the flat surface, and it bounces him out to the left. Oh, and another good one. Some really close attempts on Wenny's side. Bhanu, his stream is making it a little bit difficult, but it looks like he's going for the same strategy. just can't get the finish in. Neither player with a finish yet. We are halfway through. And again, this is one of those stages where you gotta think to yourself, how likely is it that I get a finish? How likely is it that my opponent gets a finish? And so do I want to go with a casual playthrough of this stage? It is worth noting, neither of them using Baby, who's your typical character on this stage, so might not be so familiar with how to play this stage from an RTA or, casual perspective. Oh, but we're gonna get a finish. Yes, we do see a finish. When he does get in the goal, I was a little worried that he was gonna slide too far up on that ramp, but he does get a finish, and it's a 54.465. So he takes the lead on this stage, meaning Bhanu is gonna have to get an IL finish in order to tie this match up and take it to a game 5. I will say, he bounces off the outside of the post. Just can't get it in the goal, and that's what I was worried about with his first attempt, was we were going to see something like that, where he goes too high up and then can't get into the goal, but it looks like he's really dialing this in. And Bhanu, I'm not seeing, really difficult to see, but, and that's a 55. That's a great time. That is a fantastic time, 55.257. That's going to be an excellent time and really going to force a strong finish out of Bhanu, who does get a finish, and it's a 55, but I can't see what it is. 55.202. So he's just 5/100ths of a second slower. Oh, that's a dagger. And with only 40 seconds left, gonna need to find some magic to take this to game 5. We see a 54 out of Wenny. That's not gonna beat his best time. Oh, there's something that looks like it could finish, and he bounces off the inside of the goal. Bhanu bounced off the inside of the goal there, and he's down on the goal platform again, but can't get it in the goal. So he has figured something out, but with only 10 seconds left, is it going to be enough? I don't know. He's going to need something good here. Last attempt, and he's not going to get it off, I don't think. Let's see if it matters. It's not going to matter. Okay. All right. There it is. That is game number 4 going to Wenny, who will take the match 3-1 over Bhanu. So that is an upset by seeding. Wenny, the 10 seed, taking it over Bhanu, the 7 seed, to move on to the next round. So I believe, if I have the bracket right, I believe that Wenny is going to move on to face Chain Chomp Braden in the next round. That's going to be tough. And Bhanu will fall down to the lower bracket. He is going to play the loser of Manx and Chongo. Or should I say Chongo Bracket. So that is going to be all from us here today. We are going to have more matches later. I believe Chongo and Manx, actually, I think both of the round 2 matchups that were already set at the beginning of the tournament are going to be played today. So Maple Snow Girl is going to be playing against Moo is my username in the 3-6 matchup. And then Manx is going to be playing Chongo in the 4-5 matchup. So that's going to do it for us here. Thank you all for watching live or the video. And we will see you for more Monkey Ball later.